I just want to talk about what's going on in the world and what's going on mainly up here in all of us.
Anxiety is a cancer of the mind.
There is stigma around it.
A feeling that stays with you and you can't seem to get away from it at all, and you feel completely alone.
Thoughts like all the time of just like, you know, driving into a wall or just anything, because I couldn't do it. It just took all my energy out. Like I'd be crying in public, and 30 years old, and I'm sitting there crying because I saw a traffic light, and now I think that I'm gonna give somebody cancer because of it.
And then I went to secondary school, and I started hearing the voice of what I thought was an angel. Around the same time, I saw the film The Truman Show, and I started to believe that I was in my own version of the film The Truman Show. I'm sure some of you have seen that film with Jim Carrey. So I started to believe that, I was being watched by cameras, and people in my life were all actors, and I just thought, well, this is my life. But then around the age of sort of 15, 16, that's when things got really hard. So I started taking a drug called Roaccutane, which is a drug for acne. I had really bad acne around the age of 15, 16, and that drug has been linked to a number of cases of depression and unfortunately suicide in young people. And I mean, the drug cleared up my skin, but I was left with these really low moods, and we didn't have any mental health education at school, so I didn't tell anyone. I thought it was a weakness.
I have something to tell you. Anxiety sucks. But do you know what the worst part about it is? It's not the dizziness or the palpitations or the excessive overthinking. No, it's the stereotype that goes with it. Mental illness has a stigma associated with it.
Now, I experience stigma every day as a psychiatrist. The profession to which I've dedicated my life is the most denigrated and distrusted of all medical specialties.
Like the social, and in my case, like the cultural stigma associated with it.
Think about it. We're fixated on this idea that mental illness is associated with incompetence, fragility, failure.
Having bad days again and feeling like you've failed when your anxiety or depression or whatever you have gets worse is very real, and it really sucks.
You see, I've worked in social marketing, primarily in higher education, for most of my career. That means I work with a lot of 18 to 24-year-olds, which also happens to be the most active demographic on social media. The other thing you need to know about me is that I'm young enough to have grown up with social media, but just old enough to be able to critically engage with it in a way that 12-year-old me probably couldn't. So my life is social media, personally, professionally, and academically. And if it was doing this to me, what was it doing to everyone else? Well, I immediately found out I wasn't alone. The Center for Collegiate Mental Health found that the top 3 diagnoses on university campuses are anxiety, depression, and stress. And numerous studies from the US, Canada, the UK, you name it, have linked this high social media use with these high levels of anxiety and depression.
Sometimes, most of the times, you don't know what people are going through. People that you follow on the internet, your favorite YouTubers, your favorite singer, everyone looks like they have it all together. Chances are they probably don't, and we're all just figuring it out as we go along. Sometimes we won't know what's really going on with people as it's happening. We figure out when it's too late. I think instead of being reactive to tragedies, we can figure out a way to be proactive and prevent things from happening to the best of our abilities. Obviously, everyone makes their own decisions, but we can all make a decision to plant seeds of hope in other people and maybe restore some self-worth and purpose that they may have lost along the way or not have been able to find it yet. With all that being said, suicide is not an unfamiliar concept.
Talking about mental health doesn't have to be difficult. After all, it's something we all have.